Imagine this. Every morning, life quietly places 86,400 seconds into your hands. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter whether you're successful or still trying to figure things out. Every single one of us receives the exact same amount of time each day. But there's one rule. At midnight, every second you didn't use disappears forever. You can't save it. You can't borrow more. You can't buy it back. Tomorrow you'll receive another, 86,400 seconds. But today's time is gone forever. Now here's a question. If someone handed you 1 million pounds, but told you that you only had one day to spend it, would you waste it? Probably not. You would think carefully about every decision. Yet every day, people waste something far more valuable than money. They waste time. The truth is, the biggest cost of wasting time isn't losing an hour, it's losing the person you could have become during that hour, because every minute has the power to change your future. The scary part is that time never announces when it's leaving. It slips away quietly. One distraction, one excuse, one more episode, one more scroll, one more promise to start tomorrow. And before you know it, months have turned into years. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden cost of wasting time and discover why every small decision matters more than you think. The invisible thief. Imagine a thief who enters your home every single night. He doesn't steal your money, he doesn't steal your phone, he doesn't steal your furniture. Instead, he steals something much more valuable. He steals one tiny piece of your future. Just enough so that you don't notice. Night after night, week after week, year after year, until one day you wake up and realize that something important is missing: your confidence, your health, your dreams, your opportunities. Time behaves exactly like that invisible thief. It doesn't shout, it doesn't make noise, it simply keeps moving. Most people don't realize they're wasting their lives because nothing dramatic happens. 1 hour of procrastination doesn't feel dangerous. Skipping one workout doesn't seem important. Ignoring one opportunity doesn't feel life changing. But life isn't shaped by one decision, it's shaped by thousands of repeated decisions. Every habit is like placing one brick. One brick changes nothing, but thousands of bricks build a house. Your daily habits are building the house you'll live in tomorrow. The only question is, are you building something you'll be proud of or something you'll regret? The story of two friends. Let's imagine two friends. Their names are Ethan and Liam. They grew up together. They went to the same school, graduated in the same year. Both had similar intelligence, similar dreams, similar opportunities. On graduation day, they stood together and promised each other something. 5 years from now, we'll both have built amazing lives. At that moment, they truly believed it. The first few months looked almost identical. Both found jobs, both earned enough to support themselves, both had free evenings after work. The difference wasn't in their circumstances. The difference was in how they used those evenings. Ethan came home exhausted. He told himself, I've worked hard today, I deserve to relax. He picked up his phone. One video became five, five became 20, an hour became 3. Then it was time for bed. Every night he promised himself, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. Liam also came home tired. He also wanted to rest. But before relaxing, he made one promise to himself: just one productive hour. Sometimes he read a book, sometimes he learned a new skill online, sometimes he exercised, sometimes he simply planned the next day. He wasn't perfect. Some days he missed, some days he felt lazy, but most days he kept his promise. After 1 month, nothing looked different. After 3 months, still nothing remarkable. Even after a year, most people couldn't tell the difference. And that's the dangerous thing about success. It grows silently, just like failure. The power of small choices. Many people believe success comes from one big opportunity, one lucky break, one perfect idea. But that's rarely how life works. Success is usually built through ordinary choices repeated over and over again. Think about planting a tree. The day you plant the seed, nothing changes. The next week, almost nothing changes. Even after a month, the ground may still look empty. If you judged your progress too early, you might believe nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, the roots are growing. The same thing happens in your life. Every page you read is growing roots. Every workout is growing roots. Every skill you practice is growing roots. You may not see results today, you may not even see them next month. But one day, those invisible roots become visible success. Most people quit before that day arrives, not because they failed, but because they became impatient. The cost of waiting. The most dangerous word in the world isn't failure, it's later. I'll exercise later, I'll save money later, I'll start my business later, I'll learn that skill later. At first, later feels harmless, but later has a strange habit. It keeps becoming another later. Weeks become months, months become years. Eventually, people stop saying, I'll start. Instead, they say, I wish I had started. That single sentence carries years of regret because deep inside, they know the truth. The perfect time never arrived, it never existed. The people we admire didn't wait until everything was easy. They started while they were uncertain. They started while they were afraid. They started before they felt ready. Because action creates confidence, waiting creates doubt. And the longer you wait, the heavier the first step becomes. As the years pass, Ethan and Liam begin living completely different lives. Not because one was luckier, not because one was smarter, but because one invested in his future while the other kept postponing it. And what happens next reveals the true hidden cost of wasting time. 5 years later, 5 years passed, not with dramatic moments, not with life changing events every day, just one ordinary day after another. One morning, Ethan looked in the mirror. He was older, but he didn't feel different. His dreams were still the same dreams he had talked about years ago. He still wanted to start a business. He still wanted to get fit. He still wanted to learn new skills. The only difference was that now those dreams felt farther away than ever. He couldn't understand why. He had been busy, he had worked hard, he had stayed comfortable, but he had never truly moved forward. Meanwhile, Liam's life looked completely different. He wasn't a millionaire, he wasn't famous, his life wasn't perfect, but he had grown. He had developed valuable skills, he had become healthier, he had built confidence, his work had improved. People trusted him because he had become someone who kept his promises, not only to others, but to himself. When people saw Liam's success, they said, "You're so lucky." Liam smiled because they had only seen the result. They hadn't seen the thousands of mornings when he woke up early, the evenings when he chose learning over endless entertainment, the weekends when he invested in himself instead of wasting another day. Success looked sudden to everyone else, but to Liam, it was simply the result of small choices repeated over time. The hidden costs nobody talks about. Most people think wasting time only costs time, but that's only the beginning. The first hidden cost is lost confidence. Every time you promise yourself you'll do something and then don't, your mind remembers. You say, I'll wake up early tomorrow. You don't. I'll start reading this week. You don't. I'll begin working on my dream. You don't. Slowly, without noticing, you begin to trust yourself less. You stop believing your own promises. And when you stop trusting yourself, even simple goals begin to feel impossible. The second hidden cost is lost opportunity. Opportunities rarely arrive for people who aren't prepared. Imagine someone offers two people the same chance. One has spent years learning and improving. The other has spent years waiting. Who do you think is ready? People often call it luck, but luck usually meets preparation. The more you prepare, the more opportunities you notice, and the more ready you are when they arrive. The third hidden cost is lost potential. Inside every person is a version of themselves they haven't met yet. A stronger version, a wiser version, a more confident version. Every productive hour brings you closer to that person. Every wasted hour moves you further away. The trap of comfort. Comfort isn't always the enemy. We all need rest. We all need moments to relax. But comfort becomes dangerous when it replaces growth. Think about a ship. The safest place for a ship is in the harbor. The water is calm. Nothing threatens it. But ships were never built to stay in the harbor. They were built to sail across oceans. People are the same. If you spend your entire life avoiding challenges because they're uncomfortable, you'll also avoid the growth that comes with them. Learning feels uncomfortable. Trying something new feels uncomfortable. Failing feels uncomfortable. But every successful person has learned to become friends with discomfort because they know something most people forget. Everything you want is waiting on the other side of doing something difficult. Time never slows down. Imagine standing beside a river. The water keeps flowing. You can't stop it. You can't ask it to wait. You can't collect yesterday's water. Time is exactly like that river. Whether you're moving toward your dreams or standing still, it keeps flowing. Every sunrise gives you another chance. Every sunset closes another chapter. One day, without warning, you'll realize how many chapters have already been written. The question isn't whether time will pass. The question is, what story will your time tell? Will it tell the story of someone who waited, or someone who acted, someone who dreamed, or someone who built those dreams? A new beginning. That evening, Ethan made a decision. Not a huge one. He didn't promise to change his entire life overnight. Instead, he made one simple promise. Tomorrow, I'll spend just 1 hour building my future. 1 hour. That's all. The next morning, he kept that promise. The day after that, he kept it again. Some days were difficult, some days he wanted to quit, some days he failed, but instead of giving up, he started again. He finally understood something that changed everything. Success isn't about never falling, it's about refusing to stay down. Slowly, his confidence returned, his habits changed, his mindset changed, and eventually, his life changed. Not because one extraordinary moment transformed everything, but because hundreds of ordinary moments did. Remember this: the hidden cost of wasting time isn't measured in minutes or hours. It's measured in the life you never lived, the skills you never learned, the opportunities you never took, the memories you never created, and the person you never became. But here's the good news: if you're watching this today, your story isn't over. You still have today. You still have this hour. You still have this moment. Don't wait for next Monday. Don't wait for next month. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Read one page, learn one lesson. Exercise for 10 minutes. Write down one goal. Take one small step, because one small step today is worth more than 1,000 perfect plans you'll never begin. Years from now, you'll either say, "I'm so glad I started," or "I wish I had started sooner." The choice is yours. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe to Winning Habits, and turn on notifications for more videos that help you build the habits that create lasting success. Until next time, protect your time, build winning habits, and remember, your future is created by what you do today, not what you plan to do tomorrow.